So, good afternoon, everyone. This is Coohom Design Tool, and today we are going to share about the construction drawing, mainly focus on the roofs and the garden this time. I'm still your trainer, Jackie. Okay, so and today we are going to talk about still continue with the construction tools. However, during the last time. Okay, that case we just left behind. That is here. So this is the case in last time, and we provide some of the guidelines about the drawing, mainly focus on the indoor. Yeah, that's the topic last time. That's the indoor design. But this time we will talk about something more and bigger, which we call actually is the for the outside area, mainly focus on the construction and also some gardens or terrace as well. Okay, still before we get started, this is the topic, the tool logic. Okay, the whole picture for you to use this tool, and we have still many three: floor plan, decoration, and render. And this time we need some of the tools mainly focus on these two. Draw yourself, which we need to draw out the wall. Okay, that's the most basic thing. Okay, we need a wall. And also we need a construction free drawing to help us to fill up some of the partial walls, which means that that's not some wall itself. Okay, later I will tell you what we call the fake wall or the real construction from the wall building. So we will talk about this too. Okay, with these two, we can build up all the elements for the building, for the construction or villa or extra you need, or the rest elements that you need. So this is the main parts: wall drawing and the construction free drawing. All right. From the beginning, as you can see here, we have the villa. Okay, we have a villa. And please tell me what you have seen from this picture. Focus on the wall. Okay, so can you tell what is the real wall and what part of it is the partial wall? So if you don't know, before you get some acquaintances, if you don't know what it means, so let me tell you here, just pay attention. For the floor, okay, for the floor plan, from the very beginning, we use the room. Okay, I get to scale up. And you can see here, this is the wall, right? This is the wall. However, the wall itself only contains on the vertical way, okay? You need the fully walls, okay? Whatever it changed, for example, you get it bigger, you get some independent walls, okay? When you draw out, it still remains one rectangular, right? This is rectangular. If you want to build up something that is triangle or some other shapes, you can't use this one, or at least you need some of the partials to fulfill. For example, if you go to advanced tool, last time we talked about the construction, right? And you need to fill the rest part of it, of the wall. For example, just take this one. Second. I will use the construction to fill some of the parts, which what we call the fake wall. Okay, as you see, you can see here, this is the wall. But if you want to fill up part of it, you can see here we have lines, we have rectangular. Okay, even this time, if you draw freely with the endpoint, you can quickly point out, right? You can build up the shape. Even sometimes we have the guidelines. Okay, you can have the guidelines to help you to mark out. For example, this time I don't need that much. I can draw just a triangle, right? And then with the shape, we use the push or pull. You can fill some of the parts. See that? Okay, to pull out and type some number. Okay, type your exact number, and now you can have the shape. Of course, some of you might see this kind of shape or this kind of construction, it feels like quite different, right? And this time I can tell you, whatever it shows, if you just fill it with the same mappings, for example, here I just use one of the mapping to put and use the brush, put again, you can see actually itself doesn't contain any difference. So here, let's get a quick preview. Here we have a quick preview. You don't need to go to the render tool. You don't need it. Just go to quick render outcome, and you can see actually it shows exactly the same. Okay, but with other parts, you need to fill. If you would like to see in the full views in the pictures, if you see here all of this, you need to fill out the same. Let's check that window. See, no gap here. You can see no gap, right? So with this, the real wall, okay, the real wall and this fake wall. Let's start some of the creating. Okay, this time let's go to create. So now please tell me which part, okay, you feel like is the complete wall, the independent one, and which part they might feel they're not the fully wall, just it's not the size of the wall, but it's the partial, which you think. For example, this part, that's the real wall, right? The real wall. This also, this also, this is the with the glass house. You just ignore it. However, what about this part? Is it or not? This part? Yes or no? This one? Actually, still, it belongs to the real wall. Okay, you can use the wall to draw out, but with some door opening. Later, I will show you. And how about this part? Is it real? If you can see, I can just mark out with some of the lines, okay? So just give me one line, okay? This part. This part. Do you think? Is it complete? No. It's independent partial wall. So you need a construction free drawing to draw out. The same thing exists here. For example, this part. What do you think? Of course, you need to draw out. Even the side of the roof. For example, this part. Okay. It's full of elements contained with the roofs. Okay. But some part of it still you can change to some independent real wall. For example, this one. Just make the width. Yeah, right. So you can see here in this part, actually is independent for a rectangular. With the triangle, no, you need to draw out. All right. With this starting, let's get easy drawing from the beginning. So before that, we need to draw out a floor plan, a room. This room is not for the house. Just pay attention. This time, because we need to build this, we need to build this garden included. We need to build up this whole area. You'll need a very useful tool to replace the terrace or the garden by using the room, okay, the big room. So in total here we have three different levels, okay, the layers. The first is the outside wall, the very big one. And the second, here, you need to draw out the terrace area. And the third is the room. So let's get started with the room, a very big one. Okay, this is the garden. Okay, this is the garden, very big. However, the first thing you need to adjust, see here, you have two things you need to adjust. First is the wall. So here you need to adjust the wall into draft. You can see when you click on the wall, you have draft. Just change this one and change the height. For example, this time you don't need that much. You can adjust to lower, for example, 1.9 meter, 1.9 second, 1.9 meter. Okay, and also you can change by batch selection. For example, holding down Shift button, you can select. So you can select this one. You can select this one. Okay, draft 1.9. Okay, and now you can see here we finished some fender, the walls. Okay, but second here you can have a big ceiling. So how to get rid of it? Okay, you don't need that ceiling. So just click, okay, in 2D, click this area and name the Untitled. So you need to change, for example, the room type. Change here to, let's see, you can have Terrace, right? So when you select Terrace, it disappeared. See, and now we have a big area for the garden, for the for your house living, for the villa. Okay, and also internally here you have another, okay, platform that's for the building. So you can still continue to draw, or I give you a very useful way. You can use the floor editor to draw out. Okay, you can draw out, but just this time don't need that. Okay, this time we don't need to build up because it's very easy. You can draw out area to get an extrusion to get higher like this one, but we just need to focus on this building. Just pay attention here. So with that boxes, the boxes 1, 2, 3, okay, just think wisely. If you look from the upper side down to see here the building, 1 area, 2 area, a bigger one, and 3 area, maybe here 4 or 5. Okay, so you can draw out with the floor plan. All right, just before that, you need to adjust something here. Before you go to draw out, you can see here we have the height. This height is about the level height. You need to adjust this height to maximum size. Why? Why I need to adjust? Because if you want to see the roofs, for example, if you want to see the whole picture, you need to adjust the camera, okay, the camera higher when you go render. However, this one, the level height, will stop you from seeing higher. You might only see the maximum height as 2.8 meter, right? Which is not enough. So I need to adjust this height. For example, I give it another 0. It changed to the maximum. See here, it's not 2 meter, it's 20 meter. That's totally enough for a normal villa, right? It's quite enough. Okay, so here, this height, when you adjust the property from Untitled to Terrace, it changed. It's not the ceiling height. It's the total viewing height, okay, the level height. Just pay attention here. Remember to change, okay? Now, after we change that, we can go to the floor plan and to draw out. How many boxes? Okay, let's see. 1, okay, this is 1. Give a room. Okay, it's approximately here. Okay, and another 2. Okay, in the back. Of course, it's bigger, right? Let's get another 2. Let's say here 2. And the third one, 3. Another box. Just pay attention here. The starting point, auto snapped it and put here. Right, we have now the main part 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 3 boxes. And here, the third, maybe that's another terrace or the balcony extra. I'm not sure because this is only one 2D picture. So I can build out these two and this one and this one. Okay, this is the column function, and you can build up, for example, like this. Maybe it's not that big. Yeah. So just give a gap. Give a gap. Of course, if you have the detailed data of the lens, okay, you can adjust easily. For example, 2, 3, 0, 0 here, 2, 3. Okay, just like that. You can adjust as per your request or the detailed numbers. Okay, so after you adjust all these elements, maybe here I just give another. Let's check. Yes. Okay, on the other side. On the other side. Okay. After finish that, you can see in 3D. Whoa, it's very high, right? Because you just adjust the edge of the wall as the draft. However, this still remains from for the wall. Okay, and the wall, according to the height of the wall, according to the property, is 20,000 millimeter. So you need to adjust this as well. For example, holding down your shift button, let's continue batch creating, okay, adjust, draft, okay, how many, for example, here, how many floor, 1, 2, or less. Yeah, this is a question for you too. How many? Actually, here you need to create the vertical part as the real wall. However, this time, just now we've talked about is the construction free drawing. So pay attention here. This room, you need to get the cutting. Okay, get the cutting. For example, when you adjust to the draft, okay, adjust to the draft for the maybe for the first level. Okay, I change one draft. Give a first level, let's say 3 meter. Okay, 3 meter. And this time, pay attention here. Since now you can see we have another level from this part. This is the side door. Okay, you can park here and directly go access to the room, right? And this part, you need to build higher. But this one, it doesn't exist, only 3 meter. And this may be 5.5 in total, okay? 5.5 meter in total. So I need to add up another. So I need to break it, split, okay? And move the dot, this part and this part. Select still draft, however, 5.5 or higher, maybe 5.8 extra. Okay, according to your request. Okay, so just pay attention here. Sorry, I didn't adjust here. 5.8 meter, that is here. 5,800. Yes, correct. Let's see here. Detail viewing, see that? Is the gap? Maybe it's not that high, so I don't need that much. Let's adjust height because 3 meters of this is, yeah, 5.2. That is in total 5. Yeah. Okay, you can build out the main parts like that. And also here you have higher. If you have higher, you can get a detail adjustment again. For example, split, right? And this part still see that 5.5. but this part may be higher. Let's say 6.3. Yeah, so you can see the gap. Okay, and also for this part, a total, okay, the complete house, the box is this one. So you need to have in total two, okay, two different levels. And just check here, that's the flat side. For example, this one equals to the height of this point is equal to this point, so it shares the same height. Let's give a detailed number. For example, here, this line, this line, this line. All right, if this break up, just holding down shift button to select and draft again 6300 and get checking. Yes, correct. If it is okay, so that's the size. Okay, that's the size. So just per your request, maybe this I give too much. Yeah, too much height. Just pay attention. Let me give a little lower. Yeah, the maximum. I changed them to 5.5 meter. And this one should, according to the gap, 5 or 4A. Yeah. Okay, much proper. Right, these two. Okay, and this part also give another height. This wick, holding down shift button, draft. How much? How much is the height? Only one floor. Okay, level 1, only level 1. So just give only 3 meter. But this part, see, if I want to put, for example, I want to put some decoration to put the door here, you need to, okay, so I need to adjust to cut this triangle part of it to the real wall. So just give here a gap. Okay, this one belongs to this wall, and here the gap belongs to this one. So still cut, split, cut. Okay. Just click. You can click this dot and change. For example, 2.8 meter, here 2.8. All right. And now you cut into three parts. And for the middle, of course, you can get higher. Okay, equals to this one. When you feel like this is only part higher above it, so just give a proper, for example, how much is that? 5.5. So just give a little 5.5. Okay, of course you can get it lower, for example 5.3, because here is the triangle. Okay, this is a triangle, and the rest part is that, yeah, the triangle. So finish this one, just only this one left, only 3 meter. 3 meter, finish that. And now you can finish all this, okay, the building, the main body of the wall, right? Okay, so from this part, we finished the wall building, the wall, okay, from the floor plan, wall, and room to build up, okay. And next time, okay, next step, which you want to take a look first, window or doors, or here, the entrance, which you want to take a look, which we want, window or door or this entrance, because it belongs to different logic, okay. So here, let's get some easy way, okay. Window, if you want to put the window, this actually is very easy, right? You just find some elements, the models to put onto it, and it's finished. The challenge is here. How can you put from this to this, okay? You have the same place, the same position, but with the different altitude. And how about this kind of very small, very tiny, but lovely window? How can you put? So here I give you two different resolutions, okay? First, for the window, let's get some of the small one, public library, construction, window. Yeah, we can give a window, but let's see if I put, it's not enough, this is not big enough. Maybe smaller. Yeah, that's proper. This one easy, right? However, let's get some difficulties. If you want to put here, meanwhile, this one it still contains the wall. The door. How can we do it? Let's check. Yeah, the same. You can put the same, of course. So first, to put with the lens adjust, and the second, pay attention here. Change the height above floor. Since you already have the wall, so you can directly to put, okay, say height above floor, see this one, you can adjust freely to put on a proper position that you prefer, that you want, okay. But just the maximum size is the top, okay. The limitation is the top, so you can put it here, because later you can still have the rules, okay, the small rule, the edge rules, you can put it here, you can draw some of the elements, just don't panic. And give a way to the doors, okay. Let's try some, sorry, not suspense ceiling, the doors. So just put some interior doors, exterior. This here, of course, I need to put the exterior, for example, to put it, and now you can have it, okay. Just give the gap, okay. Use the height above floor to give the gap to the door, right? This is the resolution. And also here, you can see this one contains another door. However, this is still independent. Okay, this is independent. And this part, if you don't want to draw out, you want to use the models. If you want to use the models, another useful advice. Okay, I here give you, it's a very useful tricks. Okay, so use the floor plan, use the wall, and now you can know what am I thinking. See that? To do what? Yeah, to draw out this one. Okay, maybe this is just equal to this part. Okay, the width equal to this interior area access area. So I just draw out the size, and adjust the draft. So how is the height? For example, this one, I might give the height approximately to according to this one. Okay, so this is the height. So give a little lower. For example, give 3.6 or 3.5 meter the height. Click, already draft 3.5. It's not enough. So this is above floor, so I need to add up 3.8, add up to this number that equals to 5.3. So 5.3 meter. Good. And then still get a window here. Give the small lovely window. Change smaller, but very lovely one. French window, small window. Okay. Smaller. Okay, still remember here about the floor. Length 8. Here about the floor. Okay. Still go up. You can see here. Now you have this is height. The length actually is the height. It changed. Okay. The action changed. And then you can duplicate one. Yeah. And sometimes you might think, oh, how about this part? If I really want this part disappeared and shows an empty zone. So still you can get to D and find out in floor plan, we have another thing called the door opening on the bottom left side. You can put and adjust. Just remember to avoid, to give a space to the elements, the downward. You can see here. Of course, you can adjust the height. Just hide away behind the roof. So here, even this time, if you put another window, let's say if I just copy this one, copy it, copy. Maybe it's too high. Just don't worry. I get it to favorite and undefined. Where's my roof? Where's my window? For example, I just this time give a window here. Still, I can see internally. I don't need to worry about it. Still exists here because you can see, you have a small window here. Get smaller. Correct. And now you can change it. The same logic happen here. If you want to put this column, okay, this shape called, well, what we want to do is to put some of the door openings here. So you can put it here, right? And you can see here on the bottom right side, the arcade. You can just give the shape, the arcade, right? Still, you can have hair above floor as well. Later, we might use it. And this lens, okay, with the height, 2.5 will be higher. This time, you might see the picture a little higher. Good. So give, for example, 2.4. All right. And also you can copy, get a duplicate, put it here, exact number, okay, and also still continue duplicate, right? That's not the end, because here you can still see you have a shape that shows here. So what might remind you to do this one is that you can go to advanced tool with the construction for drawing. Yeah. Because you already have the construction, so I just need to put some elements onto it. This time, this one, just delete, no need that. Okay, and let's get a rectangle. All right, and this rectangle requires from here to the bottom, okay, with the chamfer. So just use this one, guidelines, borrow one line, endpoint, and also the horizontal way, for example, this one. So with this, you can mark out a rectangle, point to point, right? This is point to point. And also, this is not the end, because you can see here we have a little chamfer, this one. So just give a very small useful way, clear the guidelines, and click this edge. Holding down Shift button to select another, now you can have a chamfer. See, you can have the chamfer. Okay. After that, just use this one, push. What is that? 120? I'm not sure, just check. The default setting is 120. Of course, you can change it as per your request. Okay, after finish that, just be patient, because you can see here, it's not the same element, the same mapping. So you can find out, just to put, okay, to put on it. Okay, holding down Shift button, double click, you can get a group. You can just directly to put and to put. Okay, just remember the edge to put. Also this one. See, with the render again, you can see here actually it shares the same, right? Same logic. With another position, the same size to do it. For example, you can, of course, you can't duplicate, because this one is the mirror, okay, the mirror part. But still, you can draw out. Okay, for example, this line, I got the number still at the guideline, to 287. Got it. And what is the, yeah, here is the measure. Okay, the size 585. The guideline with that, or you just need to borrow this, and now you can have the endpoint same here. Borrow this. Still, I can easily draw out, right? And also after clear all the guidelines, holding down Shift button, I need a chamfer, right? And to push or pull. Now you can have the shape, holding down Shift button again, group up, and just paving the material, confirm. Now you can finish one. Remember this one. With all this building fulfilled, you can finish these elements, right? And just continue. Okay, now we finished some of the elements. This time you need to build up some partial walls. Okay, the partial walls. So let's start from the left side, this part. If you want to draw out this one, of course, you can directly use the line point to point here, endpoint to endpoint. Now you can have the shape, right? You can have the shape, and also, if you want this, all these elements, you can directly to push, right? Just push inside, and now you can have this roof, the very basic one. This is the roof. Of course, you can see here, still we have the construction requirements from this part. So just pay attention. Since you already have the shape, that's the real, okay, the real walls. And let me check if it is too high. Yeah, this one is too high. I need a just very small one. So this definitely lower than this level. Okay, let's compare these two levels. It's not the same. Okay, so this is too high. I still need to return to check. So let me check if it is on the internal or outside. Yeah, this is available. So give a proper height 7. Yeah, it is enough. And also here 2D. This is the door opening, and just leave aside. Later I'll use it. Just duplicate to another wall. Just delete. And now we need to adjust. Just lower than the height. For example, this one change to 500. Check 4.8. Yeah, it's enough. So let's continue. Duplicate back. Delete this one. All right. So we have at least one of the roof construction, and continue with the construction to fulfill it. Fill out the partial. Okay, fill out the partial. Use the rectangle. And just pay attention here. You have the endpoint inside or outside. Of course, we need to fill up it. So inside is not available. Use the outside, okay, the outside line to fill it. And also here, you can see you get this one. This is the side, okay, this is the side wall. This also contains another, and we have two triangle, okay, two triangles on it. So still use the line, okay. If you can see clearly, it is not, if it is not on the edge, it's hard to adjust. So still we need that guideline to borrow rectangular, okay. Well, this is just fine to match the endpoint. So pull it. Here you have intersection. Now you can have this wall. Also on this other side, don't need to worry about it because you can just duplicate point to point. And the last, don't forget the useless, okay, the useless part is here, belongs to this part. You need to fill it. For example, I change to internally to fill this endpoint to endpoint, because this part you need to use, but this shape you need to cut it. Okay, otherwise when you go render, it shows not good. Okay, it shows not good. Endpoint to endpoint, just to delete this one. All right, endpoint to endpoint. If you click, see, if you click, it's not able to delete this one. So you need to check the edge. Oh, sorry, this one is not correct, incorrect. So you can just put this right, put to the edge, and with this part, delete, and now use the line to change point to point, because you need to split them. Yeah. This time you have two shapes. Same here. Two shape intersection. Now you can successfully delete them. All right. For this internal, no need. Now you can have that shape. Right. Of course, this doesn't contain the thickness. If you really want just to, you can push. You can push. But remember, because you do the pushing, just keep the back. Okay, you need to put some thickness back. Same here. Thickness back. All right. And also for the roof. This time, firstly, we can make the roof. So still use the line or rectangle. And here I give you a very useful guidelines, okay, the tips. If you want to draw out, you can use the guideline to mark out the middle point, right? With the middle point, you can now draw two different rectangle. Okay, the default full fill, you can just ignore it, right? And when you draw out these two, it means that actually you come out the rectangle, because here the midpoint automatically shows up. See, of course I don't need that much, so wait a second, I can cut. Okay, here you have intersection point, so the default setting is easy to find, because when you push your mouse here, you can see the intersection point. That's the horizontal way. You don't need to worry about it. Middle point, middle point, middle point, still middle. Okay, delete the useless part. And also we can see here, still it contains another roof. Okay, that's much higher. Still you need to show, you need to build up the area. So let's continue, because you have the gap. So point to point is easy to fulfill. Okay, point to point. Right, and finish. And later we can put some mappings. Okay, put some mappings onto it. And also here for the rest part, because this is continue. Okay, the pitched roof is continued from this part to this part, and you can just continue to put some lines onto it. For example, still this line, give the gap. This one also, I borrow the line, So this is the intersection point. So with the drawing, point to point, remember point to point, See, it's filled. And also just here to put, of course, if you don't know the exact number, measure endpoint to endpoint. Let's see, what is that gap? 2360. Okay, so push 2360. And now here you have this gap, right? You need to fulfill it, otherwise it will see like this empty hole onto it. Is not correct. And how to do it? Copy point to point, and just directly to push. See, point to point. This one, duplicate, point to point, push again. Okay. Still, you can have some of the elements, right? And just don't forget to give back because you borrow the section face. Okay. So after that, you can have the shape. Of course, sometimes you might feel, okay, this contains some of the more elements. For example, here you have the cut face, you have some bigger area. Okay, if you want to build up, also it's available. But this time, just watch my operation is something different. Okay, let's check here because this one, you can't just directly to push. You can't directly push. It's not correct because this is 90 degree. You need to duplicate. Okay. For horizontal way, when you push your mouse directly, you can see on z-axis. See that? And here we have the distance. So when you push like that, it's directly on the horizontal way, and you give a thickness. Okay. Maybe 100 is enough. 100 enough. And fulfill it. Still fulfill. Fill the gap. See here. Fill that gap. Same here. Same here. And this time, still duplicate. Right? With this line drawing. Point to point. And the default part is already finished. Also, you can push. Still continue to push. Continue to push. And now it draws finished. Same here. How much is that? Let's say give 50. Like that. Right. And here, if you want to push, it's still in the horizontal way, right? Don't forget. Unless if you want to continue, you can still use the part. For example, you draw out, but this time cut a little. See, now still continue to draw the gap. Okay, draw the gap according to here, according to that, and just remember to fill that. Still, you can finish one drawing. Same here. Okay, so this time you don't need to draw full frame again because you can hold it down Shift button to click this surface, click this face, this face, this face. Let's get a duplicate, right? And also here, another surface, holding down Shift button. Yeah, you can still continue to select, group up or not, as per your request, and duplicate. And you just need to borrow a dot, just this point, end point, borrow this dot to this part. See, and now fulfill it, the gap, or you just meet the endpoint here. Of course, you have some small gap, just fill it. Even this time, delete it, yeah, as well. Okay, so like that, you can finish one of the drawing. Same here, if you want to draw, you can put some edge, okay, the extension to go up a little bit. It's up to your choice, the time you want to take, okay, you need to do. And later I will show you how to do this, okay, this two, okay, the same, actually, exactly the same logic. So any other questions about this so far? Any other questions? This is the construction. This time, we challenge the most difficult thing, that is to draw out the roof. For the roof is the biggest challenge for you, maybe. So like the window, like the shape, okay? You do the construction drawings, but of course you need some elements. If you want to put some other elements, you can have more. Even sometimes, I believe some of you might have questions. How about the roof elements, for example, like this? Okay, if you want, you can build up the model, or later I will show you another way to build up. Any other questions so far? The tiles, okay. Any others? The roof tiles? If no other, I will continue. So,
Bluetooth.
no other questions? If no other questions, I will continue to solve some of your doubts. That doubts is about the roof tiles like this. If you want to put, okay, I choose one pitched roof as the example.
Now, Life and Style with Daniel Martin. You know what?
Still guideline, and to give, okay, to give a surface. Still here, I need a surface. For example, copy here. Give the thickness. I need to borrow a line to help me find out the vertical line. Okay, with these two lines, I might use the arc. But here, if you use the arc, just pay attention here. We have a lift, the loft. Okay, we have the loft function. But for loft, if you want to use the line, okay, if you want to use the line, pay attention here. Maybe it's too big. A little smaller, yeah, midpoint. Use the arc. Online, okay, just pay attention here, online. Okay, click the line. Use the loft. If you find out like this, it disappeared, which means it's unable to finish with the arc. You need to change to polygon. Okay, this is something different. The polygon. It changed to a different shape. Okay, and here we have number of edge on the bottom side. Number of edge. So first you need to mark out, this is 60 radius. So number of edge, for example, I give 30 or 24, 60. Now you can have another shape, this shape. Just cut the endpoint. Now you can have this one. Okay, this is a shape. And then click the line, click this line, use the loft. And now you can see the shape. All right, just delete this one. Holding down Shift button with double click, you can get a duplicate. Of course, this time, in order to let you see clear, I just draw out as a very thick. Okay, very thick. You can draw everything to fill it, to draw it. Okay, still, let's continue. Group up. Finish. This 2, still 3. Holding down Shift button. Add some more. Okay. Duplicate. Still point to point. Oh, sorry. This is point to point. Still, you can have the detail. You can have the detail. Just pay attention here. This is the loft. The loft means that you use one section face and let it go with a horizontal, with a vertical line. Okay, with a vertical line. The section, okay, the section surface goes with the vertical line. Okay, after that you can put some elements, for example the paintings or the others you can put on it. Okay, of course you can draw smaller, much smaller. Don't need to draw like this. I just let you know the exact cut face. What is the key to add the edge? The edge, you mean this line, right? So the key is that you need to click and let them show the blue, show it to blue. When you click the wrong surface, okay, when you click the surface here, all the edge shows in blue. But if you click the edge, if you click the only one edge, you can click directly, okay. See, this is the line, this is the edge. Click, and the loft. If you put your mouse here, you can see the loft. First, you need to select the edge, the roof, okay, the roof. The second, you need to use the shape. Okay, the arc is not able to use the loft. The arc is not able. However, we can use the polygon, okay, to instead of this arc. All right. Later, I will continue to show you another way to draw out. For example, the swimming pool. You can also use the this one. This is the loft function. For other part, you can just directly draw out. You can use the elements. Okay. Of course, I personally suggest you to use this kind of element. That's the painting actually. But let me find out for you the favorite. Because we already have some elements that specially designed, especially for our roots, for example, like this. If you want, put in some of the elements is also available, right? Like this. Of course, this is too big. This, okay, the element's too big. Let me change to some proper function. Yeah, if you want, you can search. You can search for some of the elements. Here you have some of the favorite. this roof tile, you can just directly put and to go. Don't show again. You push or pull. You have different ways to do it. One is like that, one is like that, another. So I show you different ways to do it. Okay, so for others, actually the same here. Okay, so I'm not sure if you happen to make some of the window like this, the circle window. Okay, if you really insist to use some of the elements that from the model, you can find out here. Let's change to the window. Here we have some shape rounds. See, round window. Okay, so in order to use the round window, of course you need to adjust here. You need to adjust the height of this area. For example, go higher. For example, I give another level. For example, 6. Maybe enough or not? 7. Okay, continue with this round window over here. If it doesn't show, which means it doesn't contain enough height. So this time, if this is the highest position, you need to adjust another side of the wall to the same level. For example, this 7 meter. This is 7 meter. Change 7 meter. And let's say get a round window like that, and then duplicate to it. Okay. Will not show here. Yeah, this one. Find it. And height above floor, 7 meter. Okay, the maxima here is 4.6. Sorry, 6.4. So copy and delete. Okay, the detail position you can adjust here, or adjust here as well. For example, I need that lower 5. Okay, and this one, the middle part. Okay, so the middle part is A50, correct, and finish. So give them back 5.5, 5.5. See, okay, you adjust only one wall height because I click the wall, split, and do it independently. Yeah, you can split into different parts. For example, this wall, just split and click the wall, turn into draft. Because this time I used the independent, I don't need the wall, the height of the wall fixed to the whole floor. So I just adjust to draft, and you can adjust freely. Okay, you can adjust very freely. For example, since I don't need that height, so 6, 7, yeah, lower. Okay, so like that is enough, this part. So the rest part, I just need to turn to advanced tool, construction free drawing, and to draw. Right? And just pay attention here. A very, very important and dangerous trap. See, when you put the wall here, this is the T-shaped wall. You can see here, a T shape. T shape, and you can find out the gap because you have different level height. See, so what you need to do here, remember, what you need to do is fill them back. Remember to fill them back. So how to fill them back? Use the rectangle. Draw out, okay, draw out the gap. For example, draw out the gap. See, draw them out. Okay, draw them back. If you can't tell, just pay attention the shape. This is the end point. This is the middle point. So rectangle, draw out. This is half, right? Half of it. So click, duplicate, and delete the middle line. Draw. Okay, draw the total. And now you can fill it. Of course, you can, after finish that, double click, group up, duplicate, point to point. Point to point. I need this endpoint to this endpoint. Yeah, finish. And later, just fill with all the element material, the same material, and you finish this one. Very important, because you can see so many T-shape or like that, the edge point. Remember to fill it. Okay, remember to fill it. This is proper advice for you when you want to draw out some elements for villa construction. Draw them out, fill them with some material, the same material, and it's proper. So for the rest part, just need to, you don't need that, actually don't need that much. Just click to draw, to give the thickness, duplicate, right? Same here. Let me see. I'm sorry, maybe it's, yeah, it's here. This one, MPG, this one, I got it. And so continue. Still measure 1.1234, okay? 1234, the right number. At line, click, move, okay? Distance to edge, 1234. Right, I mark out it's here. So still continue to draw out. Push 120. Okay, and for the part, the top part, just use the line, the guidelines. Okay, still line to line, line to line. Now click point to point, and yes, finish that. And now you can have that shape. Okay, I can't move easy from point to point. Usually the camera is fixed in one point. How can I be free moving? This is the question. I believe this is a question about the viewings. Okay, so if you feel like it's hard to just click here, we have the walk view. Maybe walk view will be much proper. See, when you're moving, use your keyboard WASD. Okay, altitude, Q and E. Okay, altitude, Q and E. WASD, use this walk. Or top is the 3D. It's up to your choice, it's personal choices. Okay, so also here you can have a height adjustment and FOV as well to change. Okay, you have this shape, and here the zoom extent, which means you can return to the default the viewings. Okay, of course space, your keyboard space is also available. Okay, so again, I can't move easy from point to point if the camera is fixed in one point. I believe this is solve your problem. Switch views. Use the walk. And use your keyboard WASD to move freely. Mouse also available to change the view. See the mouse available to change the view. And just remember here, after finish all this building, change all these properties. Okay, change the property to terrace. All right, untitled terrace. Terrace. So just pay attention here. When you change to terrace, it doesn't mean that you can't give the name. Still, you can here have the room name. For example, the main house. You can see when you go render, it shows as well. You can change the name. Click in 2D. Click change the room name. It's not room type. Change the room name. Okay. And you can have the detail. Good. All right. So for the rest of the part, actually here you can build out just like my the working, okay, my working way. So I just in order to show you, I just finish one of this, and this part actually remains the same. Okay, same body. So I don't need to do it again. Just show you some of the basic usings. So first, still build up the main body, the main roof. Still return to construction. The skyline. Okay. Of course, you can clear guidelines. Add guideline. See here the middle point, and now you can have the roof still from point to point. This time, of course, give higher than this level. So give a bigger one. Okay. Sorry, here I didn't get the edge. So still, I need to borrow one of the edge, point to point, roof downward, right? And give a line, endpoint, higher than that. Give a viewing, okay, higher, point to point, right? And push. Okay, if you can't push directly, still don't worry. You can also duplicate to push, duplicate, point to point, roof. See? And also here, still we continue to use that way. For example, borrow the line. Here we have the shape that has the intersection point on the pitched roof. So still click intersection point to intersection point. Same here, intersection point to intersection point. Now you can have the roof. Still continue to build, for example, duplicate, right? Duplicate this shape. Remember, don't use the push, okay? Don't use that push. Otherwise, you can see the strange. You need a duplicate. Still horizontal way, 200, get something bigger, right? And continue to draw endpoint. drawing. Same here, endpoint to endpoint. Okay, and this time you can push again, push here, but this one still is the gap. So add guideline, borrow one. We need to fill the new one intersection point to fill that this one. Okay, that's the gap. That's the gap. Same here. Okay, same here. Just pay attention to this one. If you want to build another level, okay, my advice still use the middle point, most important thing, and also leave this higher and to draw. Okay, to draw out, for example, point to point, intersection. You can draw out like that. And still here you have the gap. Fill it and move. Okay. So you can have the shape the same here, Okay. The rest part you can return back and you can try. You can have so many different levels. And for this part, the roof tiles, I suggest you to just use this. Okay. Use some of the elements. If you can't find the elements, I will help you to get some, and you can save it with some design case that you can click, and also add to favorite. Okay, you can use add to favorite. For the rest part, also the same. And finally here, if you want to find some arc, okay, the arc doors. So still return. For example, still return to construction doors. Or the arc. Yeah. And you can put, for example, the arc doors. Elements. Brick. Still 159. 149. In the middle, hey, about the floor. Right? It would be much easier, and to draw out the rest as well. Okay. And sometimes you of course you can find some of the elements, for example, this kind of the skirt, the waistcoat. So here, if you see like this kind of crest line, you can also use some of still use the loft. Let's see in the construction. Still draw out. For example, draw half of it, because here you might draw another roof. Okay, and even this time I give a bigger one. For example, from this part to this part. Okay, this line. First, select the roof. Holding down Shift button, you can select. See, you can select, and also you can have some modelings. Okay, this modeling sometimes contains like this part. Okay, this is some of the models that you can build up. You can put you can put onto it. When you see like this one, you can put some models. Okay, this is some models that help us to build up the crestline. Okay, but if you want to draw some, you can't find some easily, some of the construction easily. You can draw yourself. For example, use the guideline, push here, rectangle, and to draw out the section surface. For example, this kind of section surface, I just draw freely like that. Draw out, okay, and you can holding down Shift button, select. Okay, just pay attention, select the line one part by another. Just don't select like this. Okay, it's not snap to the other. You need them as a total and click loft. And you can see, as you can see here, you can have some crest line. After finish that, delete all the rest part. And by this way, you can build out so many elements. And even holding down Shift button with double click, you can group them up. You can still duplicate. For example, I duplicate point to point. Okay, give them as the roof or as the water preventer like that, or you put to other elements as well. So this is the way to build up. And for this part, another roof, as just this picture shows. So you can return and try some of the elements to draw out. Okay. The final thing is the terrace. For example, the terrace. But actually, for terrace, I believe it's not hard for you, because if you want to draw, you can just directly use the arc, right, to draw out and to push. For example, here, where's the midpoint? Put the midpoint, right? Just directly to push. And after that, to find out, you go here, find some of the railings. I believe we have public railings. Let me find out for you. For example, the railings here, right? This is kind of it. Let's find something with some curve arc. Yeah, like this one. Or part of it. Move a little. Right, because it can auto snap. Auto snap to the edge, to the surface. You can change it, right? And even sometimes here you can use the array, okay, the polar array. Point to point, or it's hard to this is not the center point. Okay, although it's not big, so let's say duplicate. Just by an adjustment. Okay. If you can't move freely, you can adjust. You can adjust by holding down your shift holding down your control button and to move. Or sometimes if you want to just do as the total adjustment, give some corner lines. Right, and do the adjustment according to the scale. Scale. Maybe much easier. Yeah, with that roof, okay, fill the partial, okay, the partial wall and the roof. You can finish the design. So this is all the elements. And with this kind of constructions, you can finish all the rest and finally build up. So for this part, do you have any other questions? Any other questions? Maybe sometimes you find something, some different windows like this one. I'm not sure if you ever use this one. This is what we call the bay window. Yeah, we call the bay window. It's not hard though. You just need to put one bay window, put one. See, lay about the floor. And also this one is available for you to adjust, to change, to switch to other elements. Just pay attention, you need a proper functions, the proper models to fill up, and it's okay. Right? Same thing. Okay, same thing to draw out. And finally, if you want to really find some of the elements, in public library you can find out, but I believe it's not the constructions. I'm not sure if you can find out. If not, I will also add out some elements for you, because I can share some of the models according to some design cases. Elements. All right. If not, don't worry. Later I'll find some and help you to put. Okay. So finally, you can find all these elements down. Okay. So just pay attention here. When you build up the house, not only the walls we can build, but also the construction free drawing that we can add up the segments. Okay, this is also available for some of the roofs, for example, like that. This is the flat roof. You can just draw the rectangular and push. Okay, do some combination. This is very easy, and this modern style. And some traditional style, for example, like that, still shares the same. First, you need to draw out. You need to draw out by the guidelines. Okay, to draw out the guidelines, and just pay attention here. I give another example. Still use this, right? How to draw out some different, but with the very standard way. 6 meters. Still go to advanced tool. Still construction. See here, give the guidelines. Okay, still borrow guideline, midpoint to the midpoint. First, to mark out the midpoint is very important. And the second, you can use the rectangular to fill them up. Fill this roof. Endpoint to endpoint. Okay, fill this roof. And the second guidelines. Endpoint to endpoint. And now you can have the crest line. This is the crest line that you need to draw. Right? And then you can have the crest, for example, midpoint, I got it. This is not the part. Guideline again. Yeah, midpoint here. So we can have the intersection point. Okay, and use the guidelines, borrow one line, and you can build up, for example, here to find out in the intersection, right? Intersection, the midpoint, and this is the top, okay, top of the roof, and then you can use the line to draw whatever your mouse put, okay, whatever your mouse put, it still belongs to this section face, okay, the section face. And when you go drawing, for example, like that, right, this is free dot, still I can have a roof, see, belongs to it. Okay, this is the free drawing surface. Okay, even sometimes if you feel like, okay, I want some very article way to draw out, okay, I don't need a shape that shares the same, I still can draw onto it. For example, here I can draw like this one. See, I can draw with this kind of endpoint. Finally, after finish using, see, you can have some different shapes. Okay, this is very easy to help you to put the position, okay, to finish the position. Of course, the pale, okay, for the flat crest line, you can directly to draw like that. This is very standard. See, very standard. If you want this line, okay, to the mirror upper at the guideline, this is 1643. So still guidelines 1643. Okay, point, 2 point, and I can finish it. For this rest part, I just need to fill the shape. Finally, delete the rectangular push. See, now it's also finished. Of course, sometimes you can find the water fender here, the waterproof here. So you can draw out the bigger area. Just like this one, you can draw out a bigger area, endpoint to endpoint, and use the offset, right? Have a much bigger area. Push or not, it's up to your choice. Give a thickness. Still use this way, the guideline to help you to draw. And even this time, if you want to build up it internally, still give a shape, give the line, line to line. Okay, for example, draw out. Or in 2D. See, this would be much easier to draw out. All right. And still, let's continue to use just now we'll talk about that loft. Continue select. Let's see if we can do, if you select the right position, If you go left, if it is gone, don't worry, because this is the part that not on the vertical way. So you can copy one, and this time let's try it again. If it is okay, so select and go left. See, now this time is proper. So let's do it again. Holding down Shift button, select lines, select the lines, and use that left. Now, shape finished. And for the upper side, the same thing again. And you can have some shape like that. Okay, so if you want to go more complicated, even this kind of shape you can do it. However, it might cost your computer to go run much more data. Okay, this kind of rules still requires the polygon. Don't use the arc. Okay, arc can't support the loft. Arc can't support the loft. You use the polygon is much better, right? For example, last time I showed you, actually, I believe we have the ceiling, okay, the dome. If you really want to draw out here, number of edge 60. Okay, so even with this kind of polygon, you can draw out the roof. For example, 60, 1000. I need to borrow one line and to use the polygon to draw out. Use the polygon to draw out. Okay. And with the radius, same radius, 60. Cut into half. The rounds are this one, the polygon. We give a very small one. Let's see if we can do. Okay, that's not small enough. Aim point. All right, and this one I believe is okay. So even this time you can draw out the dome. Just remember to delete all the rest part, and now you can have the shape. So you can have the shape to fill it up. You can draw out a dome. Okay, of course some of it still fills in the arc. That requires the further tools to help. Okay. All right. So for the others, just like the complete crest line still works the same. Just now I've told you the way to do. Just draw out the middle point. Okay, use the guideline help you to draw out the midpoint, and then draw out the crest rectangle, and finally to build up all the part. Okay, to fill up all the part. And the same thing for the roof as well. You can see here, you can still draw out. Just remember to use, okay, just remember to use that middle point, the middle line to help you to mark out, and then use the line to get them complete, okay, to line to match another point. So also some of it maybe shows like that. That's more complicated for the rest part. Still, you use the guidelines and with the rectangle to help you to draw out. Okay, even for this, some of the pitched rows or pitched platform. Okay, you can still use the function what we call the rectangle to draw out. Just remember when you go drawing, you can use the push or pull, or you can just directly to use the rectangle, still borrow one line, okay, or letter T, still to draw, right, and just push. Remember to fill them back, and you can have the step. Okay, the same here. If you want to draw, you can draw out some of it, but still remember, leave part of it. Okay, leave part of the wall still by using construction free drawing. Some of the main part of the wall still you can use the wall drawing. Okay, it's available too. And construction free drawing, just remember one face, two sides. Okay, last time actually we've already talked about some of it. If you use this rectangle, a very easy way to show you what it means. See, okay, I just need one of the surface to tell you. For example, glass, right? If you put the glass here, you can see it's transparent, right? However, when you move to this part, it's not here. You need to paving 1, 2 with the two sides. See that? Yeah, one face, two sides. Remember this, okay? One face, two sides. Okay, and for the last part, for the garden, for the yards, you can also use the construction free drawing or some elements from the models. You can build up the area, even the persons, the models, okay, the alive persons, you can still use the function to draw. And for the garden, you can have much more elements to put. This time, I give you a suggestion, also basically on the construction free drawing. That's the edge of the swimming pool. Because sometimes you might find it, okay, for drawing out the garden, you can just directly, for the upper side, this floor, the elements upper the floor, actually I need to draw. I just need to draw, right? Because like this elements, the roofs, the walls, or the floors, okay, the upper wall is okay. However, if I make some of the things downward, for example, here I need a swimming pool. How can I do it? Maybe some of you might think, okay, for this part, I can use the swimming pool elements directly to push, but you can also make some challenge. Swimming pool. Swimming pool. You can see, yeah, we have the swimming pool, but if you push here, it have the ceilings, okay? And if you want to push, okay, push downward, you can see it disappeared. The water disappeared, right? If you push up a little bit, still we can see the gap, right? So how can we solve this problem? Actually, you don't need to, okay? You don't need to worry about, because here you just remember this one. You can use the floor plan. We have, okay, we have the hole. You can just directly click the hole and to dig out, okay, to draw out the hole on the floor, right? Even sometimes you don't need to draw the exact shape. And now you can see you push down, okay? And even this time you can have the gap, okay? So this is for the models, okay? How can I create some kind of seating area with construction tools? So I'm not sure if you're talking about this kind of area. Which part? Which part? Sunken seating area. Area actually is the roof. Is the floor. You just put some mappings. Okay. If sunken seating shows the if it doesn't contains the mistake, I believe this solved your problem. This one with the models. But if you really want to, to draw out, for example, like this, okay, the seeking one step another. First, you can get the floor higher and with some areas downward. But this still, if this doesn't still can't meet your demanding, maybe this way, the follow way, I can help you to solve it. Because sometimes, of course, you can see this kind of shape is not standard, right? It's not a standard water swimming pool. So you need to draw out it. So how to do it? Actually, let's see like this one. First, still we use the floor plan, the hole, dig the hole, all right? And for example, draw out the area, This is the hole, and it's a different shape, right? And after finish all this drawing, you can use the dot, in the middle dot, to push. Okay, try to push on the middle point, to push the middle point. See? Okay, also you can move this point. All right, this is in normal. In normal, it's in normal shape, right? So we can now go to advanced tool, because first you can see here the floor. Okay, it contains the shape, and also we can go to advanced tool, the construction drawing. For construction drawing, you can see use the arc, and now endpoint to endpoint. Try to fill them back. Endpoint to endpoint. Endpoint to, maybe this one is much bigger, or I just need to, where's my endpoint? Yeah, this one. Endpoint. Okay. And after finish all this element, of course you need to delete the edge, the internal edge. Let's use this. Right, let's use this lines. Okay, lines. Now you have a basic shape. And remember our wall decorating, right? You can now just directly draw out, for example, like this one, to draw out the edge, the swimming pool edge. Okay, for example, this time, I get a smaller on axis or in 2D. Yeah, it shows easier. Okay, give a line, intersection point. All right, intersection point. Cut the edge. Okay, of course, sometimes you feel like, oh, this I want some polygon. Okay, just pay attention here. Don't use this one. Don't use the arc. Don't use the arc. It's not able to. So you can use the polygon, right? Give the number of edge, for example, 30. That's enough. And much smaller. For example, this returns to, yeah, 52, 50. Only polygon is available. Okay, just remember it. Only polygon available. You draw out 52, 30. Don't get too big. See radius. Let me guess how much is that? 52. Okay, 52. So draw out. Delete. Use this. I just need this shape. And click this line to loft. Okay, if you can't loft, which means this is not on the vertical way. Duplicate. I need the point. This one. Move away. Still not able, which means here you contains the dot. So if still like that, you can try to get them a little simple. For example, cut and loft. If still not, which means here you have some part of the shape that is not enough to fill the edge. So still give another rectangle. To draw. On the edge. Lines. Yeah. You can have the edge. Okay. Also, you can use the push. You push downward. See. And you click to delete. And now you can have a big one. Okay. And also holding down Shift button, double click. You can select, group them up, downward as well. Double click, select, and give the mappings, give the ties. Okay, ceramic. What's that? Ceramic. Okay. Yeah. Or like this one. Oh, not this. Give this part. Yes. Yeah, now you have that. And this as well. Okay, if you can't put, move, use the walk to move. You need to move downward to put and top view. Now you can have the swimming pool, but of course you might think here you still need a water. So the water, the final thing comes about the water surface, and you can put, sorry, where's the, oh, sorry, let me return to this one in the tool. And finally, for the swimming pool, for the surface, of course you can put the mapping, but mapping still shows not the vivid enough. So here I suggest you can collect this kind of a very special model. It's the water. This is the water surface, and it will look really looking real. Okay, it looks really real. Just need to scale up. You need to scale up. So you can make it bigger. Just fully cover. Okay, to fully cover. So since you fully covered that, so you can see the edge exceed the swimming pool edge. So you still need to move downward a little bit, just little lower than the zero surface. Okay, remember this one, lower than the zero surface. And now you can see the real looking. So let me return to the model editor. We'll put some elements, the mappings to the internal wall of the swimming pool, because here just now I happen to leave my designed environment. So I need to give the material up group. To favorite the work view. Okay, so still here. Good. And in top view, let's get some render to see how it outcomes. Okay, get the render in 3D. Remember last time we talked about the altitude. See now, I can see the roof, right? I can see the roof. And also, I can have this kind of a viewing. Okay, just no need the height. Of course, give a villa looking, not the skyscraper. Villa looking. Get a render. Let's see the outcome. Even this time, I didn't change the light format. I can still understand. So later we will see. So this is the garden yards. Of course, sometimes you can find some more elements. Okay, the elements outside. So you can build up. You can build up one piece by another, or you just need to do some combination. For example, the points. Yeah, you can just put some combinations from trees, okay, trees to plants to yards to other elements. And for example, this time I already in my account, I have some furniture combination that's specially defined for the outside looking. For example, this swimming pool. See, if I want to, I just need a corner. You save the corner, okay? Save the corner views, and just to put easily, put that element easily. So you can use this way. It will be much quicker if you do some of the outside render, for example, this as well, right? Still, you can move, you push. Okay, for this element, you can draw out some of the segments easily to draw out the garden yards. All right, so let's see how it comes. Draw out the roof. Just I leave a little gap. So pay attention here when you draw out the edge. Make it bigger. But you can see the color here. Okay, you can see the element. It would be vivid looking. The water, okay, the water itself would be the very vivid looking. And the brightness, I need lower sunlight as well. So now you can have some detailed viewings. You can see the water. All right. So this is the way. Of course, you can build out some elements, okay, internal, and this is also from the other element called the water mappings. You can also find it in the floor editor. You can also do it like that. So this is also all the big, as what we know, the big scale, the big portions, and finally, we come out the conclusion for the villa design. Actually, you use the draw outside the room as the terrace and change the level and wall height and adjust. Okay, constructions for the partial wall, the wainscot, and the roof. Okay, today we mainly talk about the roof. Finally, finishes and furnishes as the previous. That's all what we did. Okay. So any other questions about it? Yeah. A seating area lower 2 or 3 set under the 0 level. Okay, so this maybe for this part here, because you can't change the 0 level, so you need to build up upward. Okay, for example, I still use this area to give you a sample. Okay, still a sample here. For example, in this area, I go to platform editor. In this area, just take all this segment, this environment as the higher way extrusion. For example, 2 steps, 300, okay, to go up. And this area, lower 150. Not this one, okay, so sorry, give this one 150, right? And now we can have the gap. Everything goes up except this one. You have the stairs, you can have the steps, okay? And even this time you can build up some more to give the brush, right? You can put some of the elements. Of course, for the here, for this elevation, if you want to put, for example, the mappings, right? Click, still elevation, the same mapping, do the duplicate. To see if you can find out the same. See, there again. I believe this it will help to give you the proper proper way to draw. Okay. Any other questions? That's the swimming pool. Okay, so this time I taught you about how to draw out. To draw out the swimming pool, not only to use the just a little fixed model, but also you can draw out them freely. Okay, just pay attention here. Draw a bigger one, a bigger edge, and then to cover the existing edge. Right. Let's see how it goes. It's much brighter. Yeah, you can see the water. Just to give the effect. Okay, brightness. This is indoor. Let me change another. For example, outdoor. Yeah, that's outdoor. Brightness lower. Sunlight lower. Let's render again. Okay, this time might be better. Yeah, because I changed another, because just now I didn't didn't change the format, light format. You need to change the light format, otherwise it will show all in, take it, the system or take it as the internal, the indoors. So this is much brighter. It shows not good, but this I believe is much better. So just wait a little, and during this time, if I have any questions, you can just name it out. Just wonder what would be your advice on doing a project. Okay, should we separate interior and exterior in different files? A good question. Okay, very good question. It's up to your first. It's up to your choice, but mostly up to your business, right? Because if your product mainly focus on the internal ways indoors, you need to do indoor exactly. But if you want to show them either inside or outside, or in a very transparent area, for example the terrace, but of course with some of the cover, the head covers, you can have some roofs, and this time you need to build them in the whole file. So this is a very changeable way, just like what we show you here, right? I can have indoor and outdoor. So what would be my choice, especially if my product is the doors or windows? So I still need to need them both. Okay, in the one design case, if your product is only for outdoor, like this one, okay, I can mainly focus on the outdoors. It doesn't matter, because indoor I can just give some one or two lights, and even like this, nothing. I just need them to notice about the environment, the yards, the elements on the roofs, right? That's what my product, what the business maintains. So it's really your choice. I can't give you the exact, okay? So if you want to save time, of course, you can separate them. It doesn't matter. If your clients feels like, okay, it's good, I can get them well noticed, so you can use it. But if you want to put them in the total area, it's much better, really much better. Yeah. It won't. Normally, it won't, because the limitation of our Coohom would be over 1,000 square meter. Okay, 1,000 square meter actually is able to do. How to add lighting as well? Lighting. It's a challenge question. Yeah, of course you can add. Even this time, if you want to see, I can try to help you. Let's see some of the views. If it is good, see that water? Feels so real, right? Uh-huh. Brightness, don't need that, 90% maybe. Some bright are too much. I get 80 is proper, or 85. Okay. And since I already have this choice, I can go customize and still outdoor daytime reality. And now customize lights, for example. Have you ever seen some volumetric lights? Like this. You can put, remove. You mean the lights like that? Really like that? Here, just remember this one is not able to directly put because the light itself, it does contain the height, and this height can't exist unless you put the bottom of the swimming pool up. Okay, you can do it, or you can put some of the, for example, the your product, the models light. Where's my downlight? Okay, you change some, but if you can't do the modification, that's the question. That's the challenge. You can't do the modification. For example, I insist to put, where's the light? Still rotate and really moving up, downward. Yeah, even like this one. When you go render, you can see it still doesn't contain. Let's see if we can push. See, still not able to exceed the 0 level. So unless you push the swimming pool up, and meanwhile do the 0 level extrusion to the same depth, and use this one to do the simulation, this kind of lights to do the simulation, and you can see the details. Yeah. So this is a way. Yeah, where is my viewing? How about the month? Yeah, you can see the water. Yeah, this water this water model is really useful. If you want, I can send you via the case. Okay, I saved this model as 1 or 2 models in the case, and you can copy the case to do the add to favorite. For example, like this. See, add to favorite. Yeah, very special. In another version of our design tool, I save it as mine, but I can copy to you. Yeah. Is there a lighting setting for realistic render? Lighting setting? Sorry, I'm not sure what you mean. There a lighting setting for realistic render. The lighting, maybe you mean this one. Of course, all this format, the template, the light template, we can to do the modification. We can do the modification, but if you use it properly, you can use it. Yeah, is division need higher version of a program? Higher version of the program? No. This is only something special from your account to my account. In my account, I have this one, and this is not a private categorized. This is not a private category log, but it's already in public. But if you search, because it's written in simplified Chinese, if you search, directly search the water, you can't search that water. You can't directly search, right? You can't directly search. But if you can use this one. And some of still we have some the water dynamic. If you use this kind of water, put them. And if you go to the video, this even can be movable. Yeah, the water can be movable. It feels really beautiful to put. Yeah, you can try this, but if you go render, I already tried them before. It's not so good as what we see just like that. Yeah, I suggest you to try this model, and I can copy to you later after class. I can copy one case that contains all these different elements. Yeah, very rare elements, and you can use like the water to help. Okay, you have so many the water elements to put, to push as well. Okay, so if any other questions? If no other questions, then I will end today's lesson. Yeah, we already have 2.5 hours to share the some of the ways. So finally, just remember to fill the form. Okay, fill the form. Okay, thank you everyone. Hope you can return next time with your trying of this. Okay, this kind of a villa. Yeah, you can try. Or if you want, let me check if I can save as a picture and send to you all. Save as the picture. Okay. Chatting. Do you want that? If you want, I can try to send to everyone. Yeah. You can try to draw yours. Yeah, especially for the roof. Today, roof is the main topic. Okay. All right, that's all for today. Thanks for everyone's attending, and we might see you next time. And what for topic is on your choice. You can fill the form to tell us. Yeah, we can manage another topic about our designing, our showcase, and show you different element how to draw it. All right. That's all for today. Your voice is very important. See you next time. Could you send some lighting setting for render? I can send, but it's harder. You know why? Because different case, you use the even sometimes you use the different window, the glass. It will also change the result. The outcome it will change. So some lightings, I can send you next time, or I can give you some of the different ways to build up. Okay, it's not only about the indoor design for the family house, but maybe some of the business area, even some unusual the design case. I can show you. Yeah, you can write this question to the to our forms. Okay, you can to the voice forms, and we might think as the next time steps I can tell you how to use some, for example, the textures, the lighting textures, not use the IES, use some of the different ways to build up. After class, talk to your CSC. Yeah, ask them to give you. By copy that case link. You can have a case link. You can copy the case. In that case, you can have so many elements that may be so rare, hard to find, written in simplified Chinese, but really helpful to do the work. Right. Okay. Any other questions? No other questions. We will end up today. See you next time. Bye-bye.